Hi, good morning. Welcome back to another edition of the Seed Today Business. Having enough savings, investment, and cash on hand to afford the lifestyle you want for yourself and your family is an important goal for many people. It also means growing a nest egg that will allow you to retire or purpose any career you want without being driven by the need to earn a certain amount each year.
Yes, what we're going to talk about today is actually financial independence. Such great two words, right? Everybody wants to be financially independent, but what does it mean exactly? How to gain it or how to reach it? Joining us this morning in the studio, Dani Rachmat, a personal finance enthusiast. Good morning, Dani.
Good morning.
Thank you for
I'm bringing friends because she is very excited. She want to know about the independence, financial independence,
Yeah.
and what is it all about. So
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Or shall I start first?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm over enthusiastic because this is such a great subject, right? What is exactly financial independence? I mean, what needs to happen for someone to be able to say that I am financially independent?
Yeah, for many people, financial independence is like you don't need to work and then you can do whatever you want. But for me, financial independence comes in many forms and stages. And the stages is the very basic one. The very first one is that you have positive cash flow.
What is
your
that?
income,
Positive cash flow?
Your income is obviously have to be bigger than your expenses.
Correct.
Okay.
That is the very first step. By doing so, you can invest actively and aggressively in investment, instruments that you can choose from so many things that is already available in the market. And yes, of course, the very ultimate stage is that you can say that, boss, I'm resigning today and I don't want to work with you anymore. And you can do whatever you want. That is the ultimate one. Pension, retirement that you talked in the first segment.
I see.
Yeah.
So basically, when your spending is much less than what you make, you can already categorize yourself as being financially
Yes,
independent.
the very basic one.
All right.
Very basic one.
So we're not talking about how much money that you need to make. So I mean, I remember like a couple of years ago when the pandemic hits, like we heard some people like he's the head of a bank and making like 60 million rupiah, which is like around $6,000.
Yes.
And then he still owes a lot of money. And like,
Yeah.
it was
What?
really hard. Like he couldn't pay his car payments and his house payment.
Yes.
I mean, like at the same time. So we're talking about not how much money you make, but like making sure it's a positive cash
Yes.
flow. Now, how if I'm only making 5 millions, will I be able to be financially? What do you call it?
Become
financial independence.
Yeah, actually, the keyword is not how much money that you make, but
Okay.
how much money that you spend.
Okay.
So the less you spend from the monthly income that you earn, the faster that you can get to the financial independence. I mean, if you make 100 million and then you have debts and everything, and your expenses is 110 million, then that's impossible to
Yeah.
get financial independence.
Right.
If you make only 5 million, but then your expenses are only 2 million, you can invest the rest of your money, and that will grow. And I mean, people live with what they have, right? With 5 million, you can live comfortably. I mean, you choose your expenses, right?
Yeah.
You cannot compare yourself with 5 million to someone that makes 100 million. But then you can choose how you spend your money.
Okay.
So
So it's about lifestyle. Actually.
Yes.
So what kind of lifestyle that will support financial independence? Because nowadays, Indonesia has this big population of the young people, the millennials and Generation Z, and some of the issues that they're facing right now is that they cannot. Oh, I can't save. And in my head, I'm like, what do you mean you can't save? What's going on? What's going on? What's happening? You know, what is usually happening when people say, I can't really save right now?
actually, whether you can save or not is depend on your self-control, right? I mean,
Self-control.
self-control.
Interesting.
That is the most important part. I mean, you cannot say that somebody forced me to buy that coffee, somebody forced me to buy that bag, right? The one that can decide whether you want to spend on something is yourself. So when you get your monthly income, salary and everything, you can just right away invest it like 20%, 30%.
Invest meaning you can save it.
Yeah, you can save it and then buy stocks, buy mutual funds, buy ETF or anything.
Or deposit.
Or deposit, or just simply deposit.
Yeah.
That money will be saved from your expenses, right? And then you can spend the rest of your expenses. What was the question again?
No, that's actually
How's the lifestyle?
lifestyle.
I mean, how,
Yeah, frugal living is obviously the one that will help you to get to financial independence faster. But then you also need to support it with investing. Because only saving your money will not grow your money and then will not make your money, work for you. But then when you invest, you make your money grow, and the faster your money grows, the faster you can get your financial independence.
When you talk about investment, what is actually the safest that will have this consistent
grow.
growth? Yeah.
Yeah, when talking about investing, if you choose to invest your money in the safest instrument, the trade-off is that you will not get your money grow as fast as you want it to grow. So I always say that, answering the questions first, what is the safest option? The safest option will be government bonds. Now, retail government bonds is already available in the market.
Ori or fixed
Yes,
rate. Yeah.
or sukuk retail.
Sukuk retail.
You can invest on that, and then you can choose also, if you want to be guaranteed by the government, you can choose in bank deposit. But then it only provides you with 2% before
Sometimes
tax.
can be 7%, no?
Yeah, for Ori sukuk, yes, 6.5% with 10% tax. But then if you want to invest more aggressively, you can choose stocks or maybe mutual funds and also exchange traded fund that is already available in the market.
But that even, you have to be really savvy about it. You need to know how to invest, right? You need to learn.
Yes, you need to learn.
Yes.
But if you want to invest in those kind of instruments, you don't have to be very savvy. I mean, yes, you can learn along the way, but then if your investment horizon is for long term and then for 10, 20, 30 years in the future, I mean, buying those kind of more volatile instruments will provide you with the longer tenor, will provide you with safety that you can rest assured that in the long run, those companies, those instruments will grow.
I see.
Oh, okay. Now, have you started investing?
Oh, yes.
And
but
what instrument do you use?
I'm such a low risk taker, so I go with the safe ones, which is government bonds or fixed rate. I used to start with deposit because you know my mom taught me, and that's the way I grew up. Basically, it's like seeing my mom depositing her money is basically saving their money.
How old were you when you started?
Oh my God! I started saving when I was so tiny. It was back in 1991, so probably.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That's-
When I was 8 years old.
Wow,
Yeah, that's when I started sort of like working. I was a ballet dancer, and sometimes I would dance at weddings. And I would get this like pocket money, like 20,000, and then I would give it to my mom. My mom would save it.
Oh,
So that's why.
cool. Right, now,
Yeah, go on.
Actually, I have suggestions. If you are a very low risk taker,
Yeah.
from those government bonds, you got coupons, right?
Yes.
Regularly you got coupons.
Yes.
You can use that coupon to start to invest in like stocks, ETF, and everything.
I need to learn.
Yeah. Because the capital amount that you have will be still safe in the
Yeah,
government
that's
bonds,
true.
and then you only use the coupons and the return from
Yes.
those to the more risky instruments, so that you can also learn by doing the investment.
That's a good suggestion.
But again, not everybody, fortunate enough, like could save or invest in since 8 years old.
Yes.
I remember I put some money when I was 8, but
Right.
I spent it when I was 15. Because I went out of the house and I'm like, oh, I have money and I can spend it. But what is it ideally, like at what age should people start thinking? Like when should they start saving or investing or all that stuff?
Actually, there is the same questions that people now think that they can retire at 56, 57, right?
Why would they want to retire though? But that's my personal opinion. Anyway.
The question is that it's not that in what age, but in what level of expenses that you want to retire. In what level of expenses that you want to reach the financial independence.
Give us an example of a
So
case. Yeah.
if you have 5 million and you can spend 2 millions only, and 3 millions you can invest.
Okay.
So that I always say that 300 times of your monthly salary. If you already have that, then you can have your financial independence. So monthly salary 5 million, 300 of it is 1.5 billion rupiah, right?
Okay, hold on. I need visual for that one.
yeah.
Can
Sure.
we, can
Go,
we
go.
grab this one?
Yeah.
Because those numbers are interesting, and I need to see those numbers. So let's say Jakarta minimum wage. We're talking about like
5 million.
5 millions.
Yes.
Let's start with that one, and then from that 5 millions, we're gonna save some 3 millions
Yeah.
on that, and then from that 3 millions.
You
3
you need-
million.
Yes.
I don't think we're gonna live in Jakarta.
No.
Where can we work that we can survive with 2 millions every month? Can we have a black screen on this one?
Is it?
All right,
Ah,
great.
nice.
All right, so let me get the pen out. Let's use white. So we have 5 million.
5 million, yes.
All right.
So
I'll let you do the
number
calculation.
that you need to reach your financial independence is 300 times of your monthly salary.
Oh.
Oh.
Is that how you count it? Ooh, this is
It's
interesting.
actually the rule of 4%. The rule of 4% saying that if you want to reach financial independence, then your expenses in a year or maybe your salary will be safer, right? Divided by 4%. Divided by 4% equal 300 times of your monthly salary.
Right.
So
Okay.
this will be 1.5
Billion rupiah.
billion rupiah.
Uh-huh.
And then from 5 million, if you can, this 5 million, you can spend like only 2 million here. And then you invest 3 million. In 3 million, I don't know the return rate. I mean, for like maybe 16% a year in stocks. This is
that's
one of
good.
big banks in Indonesia. And then you reinvest again. The key is to reinvest.
What do you mean with reinvest? So we
mean-
keep putting money into the stock that we
When
buy?
you invest in stock that you buy and then you get dividend out of that stock or maybe coupon for the bonds,
Yeah.
Okay.
you invest that coupon and also dividend back into the investment.
Are we talking
Yes.
about the whole 3 million? We're gonna put it invested
Yes.
on
Yeah.
the one.
Yes.
All right.
So on top of the 3 million, you also have the dividend or coupon. that
Okay.
you have. So that is-
But the dividends going back to the investment.
Yes.
It's not for me for vacation. All right.
no, that is not for your
No, I actually put it back into the investment with the
Yeah.
same investment, which is
Yeah,
fixed rate.
I already used
Yeah.
my dividend for something else.
All right.
Holiday.
So that way, I mean, that way in like 10, 20 years, if you start working at your 20s, like 25, and 20 years from 25, you still 45.
45.
So 45, you already have your financial independence with 1.5 billion.
All right, dear.
Basically, you don't have to work. But
Yeah.
why would you want to do that, though? Working
Yeah.
is great.
Well, it's the freedom not have to work.
Ah.
Yeah.
It's not. I think what people feel like retirement, like you're not working, but at the same time, maybe some people at home wanna pursue what you're pursuing.
Yeah.
You're in the
Yes.
films, but at the same time, they still have making money.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, there is the financial independence.
Yeah. Doing what you love.
Yes,
Yeah.
doing what you love.
Very
Alright.
interesting. So this is how you grow your money, people. But I was having this really interesting conversation earlier with Dani as
Right.
well, off air, of course, about the psychology of around money, right?
Yes.
Because the interesting thing is that I was asking Dani why there are quite a lot of people who are actually in debt, even when they're making quite a lot of money. Like, for
Yes.
example, what you mentioned earlier,
Right.
you make 60 million per month, but your debt is way bigger than that. Why?
Yeah.
What's going on there? So what's going on there psychologically? What makes that happen?
Because they are hardwired since their childhood that it's okay if you go into debt as long as you can have something.
Where does that mentality come from?
Maybe we are not as rich as we are today back then.
Right, right.
My parents, they have to work 2-3 jobs and then they cannot make the ends meet back then. And then so they have to borrow money from anywhere they can so that they can pay my school fees and then even paying only for monthly home rent. Yes.
Home rent, yeah.
So maybe that is why they told the children. So hopefully that in our generation we don't say that to our children.
Yes.
So that just invest.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So it's basically from our family as well.
Yeah.
The habit that our parents had which was at that time, it's like, okay, it's okay to borrow money there, here and there. It's basically to make sure that the basic needs of my children are fulfilled. But what makes it different between back then and now?
Now, the younger generation, they even, use, I'm sorry for the pay later industry. There is good industry, but so many young people use that pay later only to buy like coffees and then their monthly needs, their meals. They use pay later for that. I have pay laters. I already spent all my salary, but I still have the pay laters. So that is the difference between our parents and we are now.
Right. It's basically also lifestyle. They're actually buying things that are not the basic needs. It's basically like lifestyle.
So they just can share it in Insta story and everything. Take a picture. Hey, I bought this using pay later. They never mention that.
So social media actually has an impact on how people manage money nowadays.
Of course.
How much? Describe.
So many people, they took picture like with the new car that they just bought with loan and then everything, and then they just post it, and so that their friends can say that, wow, you're so great, wow, wow, you're so success with that car and those things that you buy. So those kind of validation that they can get. They can get from their friends. I don't know.
I see.
So we're not saying no to buying stuff, but like be financially independent first before you actually buy showing off online. I love how you bring it to social media. It's so Marissa.
Not many people saying that I don't have to work. I don't have to go to work today, so that why don't you just copy me? Because slouching in couch and doing nothing is not something that you can show off to people, right?
No, not at all. It's actually quite embarrassing.
Now, before I let you go, like you mentioned earlier, the goal is to have 300 times the
monthly salary.
Now, what are the signs of being financially independent, and any tips like, does the goal, that 300 numbers, is that the numbers that we're trying to reach to be independent?
Yes. Having that number will be great, but having that number as a goal is also great because you can always spend your money, with good conscience that I need to achieve that goal. And the signs that you are financially independent, the first one is that you don't have to pay any debt. Or maybe if you have any debt, you can pay it off
in full.
In full every month. And then the second one is that obviously you don't have to go to work that you don't like to. You can just say that, boss, I'm resigning today. Goodbye to you. I don't like working with you.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not resigning. I'm enjoying my work here. Thank you very much.
Yes, I am enjoying my job as well. Thank you very much. But probably before we end this, just one more thing. That goal is great, right?
Yes.
But also at the same time, leading up to that goal, usually there's plenty of temptations.
Yeah.
Plenty of pressure, especially peer pressure, especially if you're interacting so much on social media. You expose yourself to comparing yourself like, oh, she has that, he has that, I need to have that as well. I don't have the money, but maybe I can just use my credit card to achieve that. Now, how do we make sure that we start to re-educate ourselves around money so that we can manage our money better? And how do we continue to strengthen ourselves so that we can actually reach that goal whenever the temptations come?
The key word is self-control. Whether you can control yourself or not. If
How?
You cannot
How do you achieve that? How do you personally achieve that self-control?
Yeah, I always ask the questions. Do I need this?
Do I need this?
Do I need this? And then if I spend this, does this help my goal to achieve that 300 times of my monthly salary?
Oh, that hurts. I don't like that.
If it doesn't, then why should I spend it?
Right, right.
Yes.
Just those two questions.
Yes.
Do I need it? And if I spend the money, will this help me achieve the goal that I want, which is financial independence?
Yeah, watching Coldplay this upcoming year is going to help me to reach that. Because I need to freshen up.
You see? Temptations and excuses. There you go. Thank you so much,
Thank you very
Dani.
much for having me.
That was so great. So, have you found some new tips in order to...
Yes, a more push.
Yeah, a little bit more motivation to actually manage our money better. Yeah, when it comes to money, and I was like, there's a lot of emotions
There's always
there as well.
something, yes.
Exactly. We're going to take a little break. When we come back, we'll have more updates from around the world for you. Stay tuned. Thank you so much.
Thank you.